Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And welcome to our sanctuary, those who are in our sanctuary. And welcome those who are joining us in consciousness this morning. So, as we begin, let us begin in prayer. So please join me in this opening affirmative prayer. How wonderful, how marvelous, the universal love manifesting as you and me. I look at you, I see in you the God potential there. This is the real you in reality. So in this reality, we know that this morning's service is the manifestation of a perfect idea in the mind of this reality. So I know that this service is a glorious, uplifting, consciousness expanding experience that glorify that which calls us into being. And I know our speaker this morning allows herself to be an open and clear channel for the expression of this one. And I know that everyone who participates is open and receptive to this glorious experience this morning. So I give thanks for this service, and I release these words in the assurance, knowing that as I have spoken, it is already so, and so it is. Our inspirational reading this morning is from our Sands of Mind magazine. And this was on July 17th. And it's entitled, Your Hidden Power. While the stories of our life no longer bind us, when the stories of our life no longer bind us, we discover something greater. And that's from Jack Cornfield. And the other epigraph, whenever you think about anything big, at once say, that means me. In this way, you learn to unify yourself in the law with the larger concepts. And that's from Ernest Holmes' Creative Mind and Success. Renting a big engine sport utility vehicle for a mountain vacation can make a lot of sense. Driving down the flat highway from the airport, however, you may have you wondering why you got such a powerful SUV when it's so quiet and seemingly not needed. Then you go to pass someone, and all of a sudden, this quiet vehicle kicks in those couple extra cylinder and has the power to pass with ease. Before long, you find yourself cruising up the steep mountain grade while other cars and trucks are slowing down. This is when you feel your vehicle automatically shifting into overdrive and actually getting stronger on the incline. If you are adventurous enough to try some off-roading, you discover your tires gripping the dirt like a monster and climbing with passion. You didn't need those extra cylinders and power when the road was calm and consistent, but it was nice to know they were there when you needed them for the bumps and challenging terrain. When all is going smoothly in your life, don't forget you have a hidden power that is there in your time of need. Spirit resides within you and is ever ready to kick into overdrive when the time calls for it. Allow the power to come into you and take charge when you face those hills in life. You were created to ascend to the mountaintop, and all that is needed is already part of your earthly package. You just need a worthy vision for it to kick in. God is built into your life as this powerful capacity, and you can tap it to rise ever higher with every one of life's adventures. And today's affirmation is, I have got the built-in capacity to climb to great heights in my life. Let us just repeat that. I have got the built-in capacity to climb to great heights in my life. And so it is. We are now going to do our praise song for this morning. So I'm going to ask you to stand and sing our praise song, I Remember. Please remain standing as we do the prayer of our center. The Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. I will now light the youth candle. You may be seated. I'm going to ask you to join me in the blessing of the youth. We love you. We appreciate you. We salute the Christ in you. We see you as shining lights unto your word. And God is blessing you now. And so it is. So we're going to do a mission song. So I'm just going to ask you to stand.
The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one in spirit, on a mission. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one in spirit, on a mission. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day.
Yay! And now, with that yay, it's time for our announcements. Do we have any first-time guests worshiping with us this very special morning? Whether you are in the sanctuary or online, welcome to our hearts and to our beautiful Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. We trust you will come again and again to share your consciousness with us. So welcome again. Live streaming. We are still live streaming every Sunday at 9 a.m. and Tuesdays at 6 p.m. The recording is also available later on YouTube, and the schedule of our temple activities is posted online on the Temple of Light Facebook page. Classes. Join Reverends Sonia Davidson and Ann Shand on Thursday evenings from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. for a class on Zoom based on the book, The Mental Equivalent by Emmett Fox. After you register online on our Facebook page, we will send you the link. Discovery. Join Reverend John Scott this morning from 10:30 to 11:30 for Discovery, the lively conversation on how we apply Science of Mind principle to our daily lives. Today's topic is the Science of Mind approach to child rearing. And now on Thursday, July 29th at 6 p.m. on Facebook Live, join us for an evening with Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones. Those of you may know that Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones is one of the sages of our teaching. So you shouldn't really miss this lifeline on Thursday. You'll be joined by Reverend John Scott and practitioner Sandra Cooper. The theme for this 12th session of spiritual insights and connectivity is Mind Your Manner. Do not miss this enjoyable, spiritually uplifting event. Also, do not miss our prosperity adventure. So we are delighted to announce our 12-week prosperity adventure on Wednesday evenings from September 15th to December 1st. Join us to discover the spiritual and practical principles for building financial freedom. Please visit our Facebook page for the details of this course. Our pastor, Reverend John Scott, goes on vacation leave as of August 1st, 2021. We affirm for him rest and relaxation, if that's possible. Reg. The office will have the support of Reverend Anshan and Mrs. Janet Morris Henry during the period. We look forward to his return in September. Donation, tithes, offerings. If you feel moved to support our ministry, kindly visit our donate page at donate.templeoflightcsl.org, which has our banking details. Thank you for your generosity and for helping us to be a beacon of light in the world. And prayer support. We continue to respond with prayer to the challenges of this special time. A practitioner is available to pray with you immediately following our service every Sunday. On duty today is practitioner Carol Charlton, and the number to call is 876-289-0907. This concludes the announcement. Please join us in the singing of our first hymn, In the Twinkling of an Eye, which is found on page 3 of your program and on the screen. Please stand. You may be seated. Yes, indeed. In the twinkling of an eye, things can change. And our speaker this morning is very pleasant on the eyes. It's his practitioner, Carol Campbell, who really doesn't need any introduction. I'm sure during our encouragement, our consciousness will come across in all its glory. And I'm certain you'll be moved today So to our speaker this morning, Carol Campbell.
Good morning. Good morning to the Temple family here in the sanctuary and whoever is joining us on the World Wide Web. Let me add my own words of welcome to sunny, beautiful Jamaica, radiant in splendor and just gorgeous. My title this morning, I'm going to start with the title. It's Open Sesame, Open. Are you all familiar with the story of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves? It appears in a collection of tales known as Arabian Nights, which includes stories about Ali Baba, Aladdin and the lamp, Sinbad the sailor, Scheherazade, and others. Now, I'm always on the lookout for truth in unusual places, and folk tales are often quite a good place to start, as they are reservoirs of great wisdom. In this story, Ali Baba, a humble carpenter, wanders into the woods one day to collect wood and overhears 40 men discussing the hiding place for stolen treasure they're carrying. He secretly follows them to a location where the head honcho loudly announces, "Open, sesame, open!" And magically, this huge stone glides aside, revealing the entrance to a cave. They take their loot into the cave, and after a while, they exit. When the leader declares, "Close, sesame, close," the stone effortlessly rolls back into place. Ali Baba is understandably intrigued. What kind of magic is this? So when the coast is clear, he goes by the cave and he shouts, "Open, sesame, open!" And guess what? The cave opens to reveal amounts of gold and brass and silver and other treasures. Now, this is an amazing opportunity for Ali Baba thinks, to step up in a life. So he helps himself to a couple bags of stuff and closes the entrance again. Close, sesame, close. And then he merrily sets off for home to share his good fortune with his wife. Ali Baba is very wise with his newfound wealth and prospers mightily over the years. I won't go into the whole story because I want to focus on the action of declaring our intention in the face of apparent obstacles. In the Webster's Dictionary, open sesame can be translated to mean a password or something that unfailingly brings about a desired end. Now that sounds vaguely familiar, doesn't it? In other situations, we call that faith. It can also mean gaining access to something we might have previously thought unattainable. We all seek success, don't we? But apparently it is always hidden behind some stone or some wall, requiring some extraordinary action to access it. So let's talk about faith. Faith is not hope. Faith is fearless and sure. It is that which summons our imagination, the creative faculty of mind, the key to the kingdom, allowing us to see beyond our limited understanding. Faith sees to it that we are actively prepared for the desired results. It makes sure that we take the steps necessary to welcome the as yet unseen. It is with faith that we set our intentions. Now, let me point out here, it is possible to have misdirected faith. If you think of faith as a constant on a continuum, of creative energy. At the low vibration end, it looks like doubt, fear, anxiety, resentment, a conviction that the worst is about to happen. On the high vibration end, it is a joyful expectation of fulfillment. Being able to see the glorious end from the beginning, that is faith. Now, there's a parallel story in the Bible in Joshua chapter 6, verses 19 to 24. I won't read it, but you all know the story of Joshua and the walls of Jericho coming down, right? Jericho is a very wealthy city, full of gold and silver and brass and iron, these treasures destined for the divine treasury. However, they were ensconced in this city of Jericho, and they were not being used very wisely. In the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, Jericho represents human consciousness, the intellect, full of treasure, but treasure that needs to be inner-directed, in service to a higher purpose. Now, we all know the story. To bring down the walls of Jericho, a mighty shout went up at Joshua's command, and the walls came tumbling down. Open, sesame, right? In the Ali Baba story, his wealthy brother, motivated by pure greed, which is a low vibration energy, convinces Ali Baba to disclose the location of the cave. But he gets trapped inside, and eventually he gets killed by the robbers because he couldn't remember the password. All the treasure in the cave couldn't help him. On the other hand, Ali Baba's intention was for the betterment of his family and community, sort of like an Arabian Robin Hood. You know, we have a saying in Jamaica, thief from thief, God laugh. No, I'm not advocating stealing from anyone, please. But the wrong intention can destroy you just as easily as the higher intention will prosper you and those around you. From a metaphysical point of view, this could symbolize the power of the mind to see possibilities in place of obstacles. Ali Baba knew he wanted more, but was almost despairing over ever finding a way to lift him and his family out of their impoverished situation. Now, faith, fearless as it is, requires courage. Courage to do whatever it takes to get to the desired results, especially when you do have no idea what the next step might be. But courage has within it the means to manifest the desire, the persistence that demands results, and the confidence that attracts opportunities. You ever wanted something so bad you could taste it? But when it came time to take that qualifying step, you chickened out, backed away. Was that acting in courageous faith? I don't think so. But all is not lost. A delay is not a disaster. As long as you recognize the process that is taking place and take the necessary steps to rectify it. So I want you to consider for a moment, what are some of the rocks that may be blocking the doorway to your treasure cave? We all desire successful living, don't we? Think about it for a minute. Write it down. I'm going to give you a few ideas to jog your awareness. Write them down so you can contemplate them later and add to it if you feel like. Are you living in the past, wistful for the good old days? Well, here's a tip. The good old days weren't always that good. It's just that you remember the good stuff by choice. Are you feeling discouraged because of some disappointment? Your marriage is on the rocks? You lost your job? Or you didn't get the job you were hoping for? Or you can't seem to stem the flow out of your bank account, and there's certainly no flow coming in. You're feeling angry and resentful for some perceived disrespect. Forgiveness is the key for your own sake and your own sanity. Now, the correct word, spoken with power and conviction, will open any door or crumble any rock. Everyone has the power to lift themselves above circumstances. Everyone. Because we believe in the control of conditions through the power of mind. The universal mind and our mind. This is stated in our Declaration of Principles of the Science of Mind. And believe me when I tell you, your barriers will disappear and fall away with the right declaration. So I have a few affirmations for you. These are courtesy of author Florence Scovel Shinn, a New Thought luminary, from her books, The Secret Door to Success and Your Word is Your Wand. I'd like you to say them with me, so I'm going to say them once, and then we can say them together. I'll break them down. The walls of lack and delay now crumble away, and I enter my promised land without delay. The walls of lack and delay now crumble away. And I enter my promised land without delay. Endless good comes to me in endless ways. Repeat. Good. Comes to me in endless ways. All lack, limitation, and failure are now banished from my consciousness. All lack, limitation, and failure are now banished from my consciousness. And I love this one. Doors fly open, and I enter the kingdom of good under grace. Doors fly open, and I enter the kingdom of good under grace. I hope you wrote those down, you know. Now, while there is an element of the magical in the story of Ali Baba, truth is, everything we could ever want or need already exists, or you wouldn't be able to think about it, okay? So our good is already assured. We just need to claim it. Our treasure cave is overflowing. Nothing is too good to be true. Nothing is too good to have happen. Universal supply is infinite and endless. But as long as we are shackled to an idea of limited supply in whatever form, be it love, health, wisdom, money, friendships, opportunities, creativity, as long as we're shackled to those limiting ideas, we will forever experience lack. You have a right to expect good and more good. Yes, you have a right. You can claim it. And why do you have a right? Because it appeared in your consciousness to say, now is the time for you to claim this. Don't deny it. Expectation is the key to manifestation. You want me to say that again? Write this one down. Expectation is the key to manifestation. So be courageous enough to claim what you desire. But understand this, we don't get what we say we want. We get what we are ready to receive. If all the heavens should open up and all the blessings be poured out on you like manna from heaven, you still would only be able to use what you could accept. Are we clear? You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So if lack is in your experience, first, declare loudly to your own mind, open sesame, open. Then, register for that prosperity adventure coming up. That's September the 15th for 12 weeks. Register. Then, get ready to receive from the universal treasure house. Open sesame, open, me ready. Namaste.
Let us give her another round of applause. Okay. Open sesame. We're ready. And let us just affirm again. Doors fly open, and I enter the kingdom of good under grace. Doors fly open, and I enter the kingdom of good under grace. And those who joining us online, if you feel so moved, declare it in the chat. Doors fly open, and I enter the kingdom of good under grace. The power of our word and faith. Word spoken with conviction and the courage to feel the fear and do what is required anyway. Let us give her another round of applause. And now it is time for our musical item this morning. And our singer this morning is Dr. Sonia Williams.
I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night, a candle glows.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Believe, have faith, and claim your good every time. Every time. Just look around you and claim it. And now let's sing our final hymn. Oh, Prayer of Jamaica, sorry. Prayer of Jamaica is on the screen and a flyer in your program. Together. Please stand. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island, Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truth of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. Now we can sing our final hymn. It's found on page 3 and on the screen.
God is the life that lives through me, living a life that I can be. I know the life that lives through me, lives through the world I love. Over the mountain, over the sea, God is the life that lives in me. I feel the life that I can be, filled with the world I love. God is the light that shines through me, showing the way that I can be. I know the light that shines through me, shines in the world I love. Over the mountain, over the sea, God is the light that shines in me, showing the way that I can be, light in the way of love. God is the joy that sings through me, lifting the load so I can be filled with the joy of Christ in me, knowing the power of love. Over the mountain, over the sea, God is the joy that sings through me, lifting the load so I can be filled with the joy of love. I am the life of God in me. I am the light eternally. I am the truth forever free. I am the joy of love. Over the mountain, over the sea, I know the light of life in me. I know the truth that sets me free. God is the joy I love.
And at this point, I would invite you, if you have your love offerings, to please take them in your hand as we do the love offering blessing. And if you're at home and you're about to press that donate button, just put your hand over your heart and say the blessing with us. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. So be it. Thank you, Father. And so it is. And our donation box is in front of the podium here. As you leave the sanctuary, please leave your donation. And we thank you, thank you, thank you. So now join me in a closing affirmative prayer. We recognize in this moment that there is only one power. This power is God, and this power is that power that is in us, as us, operating through us for the betterment of all of life. There is only one of us here. This is God. We are expressions of this one. So we honor each expression this morning. And as we leave this sanctuary, as we leave this service this morning, we are recognizing that wherever we are, the presence of God is. The power of God is activated through the intelligence and the love and the light that we are. So knowing that we are treasures in the mind of God, we allow ourselves now to radiate this energy of light and love to everyone that we meet today and every day. We give thanks for this, and I release these words now into that perfect law that has already made it so. And so it is. And we'll close by singing, "Let There Be Light on Earth."
Yes, there is light on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is light on earth, the light that was meant to be. With God as our power, family are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, light begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in light eternally. Yes, there is light on earth, and yes, it begins with
I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning here in the sanctuary and online on our Facebook page. Do share this if you have a mind to. We want to spread the good news. We want to spread the light from the Temple of Light. Thank you so much for being here, for being a part of this mission. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week.